Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection. This week I got some exciting new movies for you to watch. These are out of my collection. One of these is new, and I will let you know which one is new. But these are some cool releases. I got some Shout Factory, some Kino. Let's get right to it. This was an awesome movie. I had never seen this movie before. I'm surprised it is not more well known. I mean, it's in the vein of, a shooter, a terrorist situation, almost like I want to say a disaster movie in a way, because it has disastrous consequences if it was, I'll just have to tell you about it. The movie I'm trying to talk about is 2 Minute Warning. This is an exciting movie from, let me see here, let me get all the specs. 1976, has a great cast. Let me read off the cast. First off, there's an actor that I rarely talk about, but man, growing up in the 80s and 90s and stuff, I seem like I've seen him in all kinds of movies. And the guy I'm talking about is Beau Bridges. You don't really hear much about Beau Bridges, especially nowadays. You don't really, hear his name much. But a great cast. It stars Charlton Heston. It's got Martin Balsam, Marilyn Hassett, David Jansen, Jack Klugman, he has a really good role. Walter Pidgeon, and Jenna Rollins is really good. And also the great Brock Peters, David Grohl, Anthony Davis, and Joe Kapp. This was a movie filmed by Larry Pierce. It's a great widescreen 2.35 release. This is from the Shout Factory release. It's got some really cool. The interview with Larry Pierce is really good. It also has the television broadcast version where they cut out all the violence and the words and stuff. It's really funny. If you get this, watch the beginning part of the television edition. Watch maybe the first 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and then watch the actual movie right afterwards, and just keep watching it past that, and you'll see the huge difference in the two. It's really kind of funny. But 2 Minute Warning. It's a story about a sniper shooter. He's got this high range sniper rifle, got a big old scope on it. He gets up into the stadium. It's a famous stadium in LA. What is it? Can't think of what it was. They've had like the Olympics there and stuff. Anyway, he gets up in this tower, which is really kind of hard to get to. People can't just get in it. So he gets up in this tower that's part of the fixtures of the stadium, and he basically hangs out, and he's going to wait till almost the end of the football game. There's a football game happening. The stands are packed. I mean, this is a big rivalry football game between, I forgot who the teams were, but they were like LA teams, the rivalry. So the stands, everyone is there. It is packed to capacity. And of course that's, a recipe for disaster. Once you get someone shooting people at random, everybody's going to freak out and run every which way to not get shot. I mean, it's really sad and really actually more frightening to watch this nowadays than it was in 1976, because 1976 you didn't have this happen as much as we hear it. I mean, this is almost a daily, weekly, monthly occurrence where someone gets shot with a rifle. So it's kind of scary. I guess that's what makes the movie even more scarier, more tense, more suspenseful nowadays, because something like this could happen. And it's really cool. I think the number here, there was 91,000 people in the stands. It was like a record, number. And Charlton Heston plays the police captain. And let's see, Martin Balsam is basically kind of the, I don't know if he's one of the police special, something working with the mayor and everything. And part of this, there's a, plot point where, it's rumored that the president's going to show up this day, and he's going to, they're going to sneak him in there to his stands, and he's going to watch it and then leave before the game's over and stuff. So basically, the police, once they discover him up there, they're trying to figure out, is he here to shoot the president? Is he a mob? Is he doing a mob hit, rubbing somebody out? They're trying to figure that out in the meantime while they're waiting for this game to slowly wind down, and they're trying to, play against the clock, and they get the SWAT's in there sneaking out. So it's a really good movie. It's a great movie that unfolds in, real time, and it really is good. I was very entertained by it. It's definitely a rewatch movie. 2-minute warning, just a great 70s thriller. Great. Highly recommend that, guys. Next up, we have another movie. This is a Kino Classics release. This came out in 1979. Another big cast. Great stuff. Let me read this off. It's a movie called Winner Kills. And I had never heard of it. And that's what's cool about Kino. They've been releasing a lot of good movies that seem to have just flown under the radar of time. People have forgotten these movies. These were good movies when they came out, and for some reason or another, they just got kind of shoved to the side and not really thought about. But this movie, Winner Kills, first of all, it's a new 4K master, and basically it stars Jeff Bridges. Let me read the cast, because this is really cool. Jeff Bridges, John Huston, Anthony Perkins, Sterling Hayden, one of my favorite actors, Eli Wallach, Dorothy Malone, Tomas Milan, spaghetti Western connection there, Belinda Bauer, Ralph Meeker, Toshiro Mifune, one of my favorite action stars of all times. Richard Boone, it's the DP on this was Vilma Sigmund, so it looks great. Music by Maurice Jarre. And let's see, who was the director of this again? Sorry guys, they have this all... Who in the world is the director? Oh, William Richard with a T. Never heard of him, but great movie. It's kind of like a spy movie. It's kind of like the story of a company, and John Huston plays, the president, the leader of this company. Jeff Bridges is kind of the son who's rich, who's just kind of out, living life, and he's wanting something real. He's wanting to meet someone, have a real life. He comes home to help his father out. His mother is Dorothy Malone. And somehow or another, he slowly uncovers this plot in the company to take out some of the other members for whatever... to deal with money and position in the company. And it's one of those movies. It's one of those scheming, backstabbing, almost like a spy movie with, you don't know what's going to happen. But what really gets me is it's got such a great cast in this. I mean, Joe Spinell is in it, great Joe Spinell. Brad Dexter's even in it. I mean, it's got a bunch of people in this movie. It was great to see Dorothy Malone later on in life. She's still beautiful as ever. One of my favorite actresses from the 50s and all the westerns that she was in and movies and stuff. So it's just a great movie to see. Even Anthony Perkins, I don't even want to tell you about Anthony Perkins because he has kind of a big role in this. Towards the end, you kind of find out some of the, was he pushing some of these buttons, So it's got a lot of intrigue, whatnot. So very good, interesting movie. If you want to kind of watch something you've never really heard of, you know, one of the forgotten movies of the 70s, 1979's Winter Kills. Next up is a movie. I got this. It was in my cart to buy around the time that Sean Connery died, believe it or not, and so I went ahead and bought it before someone snatched it up, because, you know, someone dies and then people buy everything they have about them, you know, that they've ever done instantly. So this was a movie. This is from Eureka's Masters of Cinema series. This is number 110. This is The Offense. And this is a, man, super cool movie by Sidney Lumet. It takes place in England. I think they filmed this at Pinewood Studios or something. And believe it or not, the police stations and all that stuff was a set. It looks like you're really in a police station, but if you watch these special features, Sidney Lumet talks about how they built these sets and got real detail put in there. Or actually, I think it's the DP talks about it, or was it? Oh, stage director of it all. But great movie. Sean Connery's been a police officer for 20 years. He's now a detective. He's worked his way up. Over the years, he's seen everything. He's seen murder. He's seen all kinds of just blood and guts and just murders of all sorts, sick, offensive things. And he kind of tries to put it all in the back of his mind and not think about it and move on. And one thing just tips off everything that he's been keeping back in his mind of everything he's ever saw and experienced as a police officer. They get the call that a young girl had been kidnapped. She's about 8 years old, 9 years old. That this is a child molester, child murderer. And he basically finds the girl, and it kind of sparks something in his mind that, you know, he saved this girl, and this, you know, he's seen many children murdered and stuff. It's a really interesting movie about the mind and what we keep secret and what we talk about and how we deal with things, you know, and stuff like that. And basically, his life just unwinds during this one night of you know, they find the suspect, they got him in there interrogating him, and basically Sean Connery just comes completely unwound. He just loses his shit on him. And it's really interesting movie of just bureaucracy, I can't even say the word, and just the red tape of life, and, you know, and everything, and just how criminals get off and police officers are forgotten about and took for granted what they see and experience and what they do and stuff like that. So it's a really thought-provoking, great performance by Sean Connery, you know. Probably one of his most underrated roles, I would say. So yeah, a great movie. Pick it up. It's called The Offense. Next up, a great movie. And this is a DVD, and I watched this recently. I pulled this out for this episode and watched it. And man, it looks really good. This DVD edition came out back in 2003, and I spun this the other night, and it looks so good for some reason. You know, being such an old edition. I watched Piranha by Joe Dante. I got a couple of his movies I'm going to watch and review. But Piranha, I hadn't seen since I was a kid. I had almost forgotten everything about it. So when I watched it that night, man, it was great. This edition was a, God, what is this through? Roger Corman Classics through New Concord releasing. Not really sure what that would be, but there was a whole series of these in the early 2000s, Roger Corman Presents and stuff. And of course, this is a movie he produced back in the day, written by John Sayles, a great writer-director. It's got a great cast. Let's see who's all in it. Bradford Dillman Heather Menzies are basically the main people. It's got a great little small part for Kevin McCarthy. Keenan Wynn is really good in it. Of course, it's got Paul Bartel and Dick Miller. Of course, Dick Miller is in this, and they figure in it really well. Great movie. Just looks good. It was great. I could almost say it's underrated. I mean, it's kind of cheesy. I mean, people have made fun of it, called it a, Jaws ripoff and stuff like that. But it has its own little thing going on with it. You know what I mean? It's more about characters than not so much just the fish. You know what I mean? It's not like focused on the piranhas the whole time. It's like it's got a lot of character development going on and stuff. So really liked it. Enough said. Piranha. So if you have never seen Piranha, check it out. I'm sure there's better editions of this, but this is an old edition I've had forever. So check this out, Piranha by Joe Dante. Next up, I actually bought this movie recently. I was listening to, the New Beverly Pure Cinema podcast. And I think this was a movie that came up. They recommended to see. This is a Warner Archive Collection DVD. This is a movie called Sitting Target. Sitting Target. Super cool. Stars Oliver Reed, Jill St. John, and Ian McShane. I mean, this movie is bonkers, man. It's bonkers. It's just like pedal to the metal. It's in third gear the whole time. I mean, this movie it's pretty badass. It's really cool. Oliver Reed is just really good in this role. I mean, he's got a temper like no other. He gets put in prison. He breaks out just to get revenge on his wife, who is got him set up or something and put in prison, and he's breaking out just to murder his wife. That's the only thing he wants to do is murder his wife. But it winds up, there's a surprise ending, so I'm not going to tell you any more about it. So I just want to tell you it's bonkers. It's great. It's a great, just got some super cool movies. It's kind of like a Hitman movie. It's kind of like a Sam Peckinpah watered down. I don't know. It's just great. It's really super cool. A great movie, just not, just sitting there that people have forgotten about. It also has Edward Woodward in it. Great. It's got a great British cast, minus Jill St. John. And, later on he would be the Equalizer on TV. He's in a bunch of stuff. But yeah, great movie, Sitting Target. You can find this on Amazon. And last, guys, pulled this out of the old archives of DAG films, Mike's DVDs. I saw Piranha and I thought, man, what else do I got besides Jaws? Because Jaws, I love Jaws. It's a great movie. But it ends up on lists a lot. So I was thinking, what's a good movie dealing with fish, dealing with the aquatic ocean and crazy terror? Well, from Snaps Film, there's this movie that was made. It's kind of like a Spanish flavor, filmed out in, where was it filmed at? Out in the Caribbean somewhere. This is a movie by Rennie Cordova Jr., and it's called Cyclone. Really good, low budget, great cult hit movie, just a cult classic. A little tour boat. They have like a glass bottom. They can see, the coral and the fish, and they're taking a little day tour in this, kind of a long passenger little boat. And it's got like 12, 15 people, 20 people on board. And all of a sudden a cyclone just whips through and throws them way off course, throws them like way out in the ocean, and they don't sink. But they start running out of water, fresh water. They start running out of food. Of course, you got the tensions between people. It's kind of like, think about Alfred Hitchcock's, why do I always do this? Spur of the moment, always forget. What was it? Lifeboat, Alfred Hitchcock's Lifeboat, where they're all stuck in a boat. You got the tensions between the different people. Really cool. It's got some great, in-camera effects or practical effects, with, some of the fish and different things that happen. It's got some great underwater photography. Really cool, a lot of fun. It's just a little, it's a great little cheeseball movie at times. But I don't know, I like it. It was really good, entertaining, still entertaining after all these years. Cyclone. So there you go, guys. I had some movies about the aquatics, about different things. A lot of these are just really tense, suspenseful movies. And that's what this episode, I guess I'll call it, the suspense episode, I guess. So let's go backwards, guys, and show all the movies I showed today. We got Piranha on this old 2003 DVD. Roger Corman Classics, actually. Sorry. Piranha. We got the Synapse release of Cyclone. We got Warner Archives DVD, Sitting Target, because I don't believe it's on Blu-ray yet. We have the Blu-ray of Eureka Masters of Cinema, number 110, Sean Connery's movie, The Offense. Next up, we got 1979's Winter Kills. And finally, guys, 2-minute warning. Also, or this one's from Shout, the previous one from Kino. 2-minute warning. Highly recommend this movie, guys. If you haven't seen it. If you really want a movie that super low key, that you want to discover something, I recommend Winter Kills. Just for the cast alone, it's worth to have it because it's just got everybody in it. So there you go, guys. I hope you like this episode, all suspense. And that's about it. If you have any comments about stuff, comment. Let me know what you thought and just different stuff. I'd love to hear from you. Give me a thumbs up, of course, if you liked it. Episode, blah, blah, blah. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already subscribed. Check out my other older episodes. I got a whole bunch of episodes that I filmed. And I just want to thank everybody who has subscribed and who, watch faithfully my episodes and in my brain farts and forgetting things and my little quirky ways or whatever. But thank you guys for tuning in, seriously. Really, I've done this channel for a year, and I never thought it was going to be this, get to this point where I have over 100 subscribers now. And it's not nothing big, but it's just interesting that I have met a couple really some good friends through this channel. There's some really cool people. Really enjoy meeting those people. That's connecting with other movie fans. That's what I really like. So that's about it. Enough of my gabbing. And be safe out there, guys. Watch a good movie. Like 2-minute warning. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.